Hello, 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 and it is Tuesday. It is reveal day, and it's been a while. I've done little reveals here and there, but it's so nice to be back and do a full journal kit reveal. The last one was Fanciful Fall. I think it was a full journal kit, last full journal kit I did, and God, I feel like that was forever ago. I don't even know when that was anymore. It is the beginning of October. It is 90 degrees out, and yet I am showing you Christmas. How confusing is that? Oh my goodness. Being a designer, being a crafter, being someone who sells things, it's amazing. I now get it why retail shops have things out so freaking early and why it's so confusing as we're trying to enjoy the season. We're seeing what's to come, right? But we have to. As crafters, we need to buy things early so that when we're ready to create something to enjoy it during a season, the domino effect, it's all there. Can't help it. But because it is the beginning of October, if you're, in the mood for fall, I have fall stuff. Don't worry. I have pumpkins. I have the journal kit. The journal, right? The full journal that I made. If you don't want to do any of the work for autumn and you're going to be behind, I've got a gorgeous journal up for sale, right? It's off the autumn foliage and floral. It'll be a great gratitude. It's up for sale. I have the kit that goes to that, the foliage and floral. I have the Fanciful Fall. I have the drawn pumpkins. I have playing cards. I have all kinds of things for autumn, both this year and last year. All of it is up. It's either in my seasonal 2020 collection or just type in the word autumn. And there's plenty of autumn items out there for you. If you are not ready for any of this, I appreciate you watching. Take a quick peek. I'll try to make this quick. We're revealing it everywhere, hopefully. Lorette revealed it this weekend. I'm revealing it today. And hopefully get one more reveal out of a favorite of mine to let you know it's out there. And keep an eye on this. If you're new to jewel design, click on my Linktree link down in the description. Follow me everywhere that fits you, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's just an Etsy shop, you happen to come across this by chance, maybe it's just YouTube and Etsy's are all you do. However you need to follow, please click on my link. Please click on the links that pertain to you so that you can follow, so that you can subscribe and get notified. So as from here on out, you are aware of what I'm doing, because from here on out, it is words, it is winter kits, it is possibly more Christmas, it is a journal with me's. Dealing with Christmas, I still have Christmas at your door that I want to work on. So many things, right? So here it is October, and it's all about Christmas. Just like we did back in July, when it's middle of summer, Christmas in July. Well, it's October, and I have to jump on the boat of holidays, and we're doing Christmas. So I'm going to make sure that this doesn't seem... It is sort of dark and red and bright, gorgeous cover. This is going to go in the next, into the journal with me this week. That's the other thing. You guys are actually going to get 2 videos from me this week. Right? Gasp! Trying to get back into the swing of things again if I can help it. So today is the reveal of Vintage Christmas Joy. Christmas Joy, of course, the word vintage because, well, it has a vintage feel. It had a tendency, it was supposed to be a little retro. Some of the images lend to it. If I had kept it bright and obnoxious, it would have been very retro. But this one naturally started lending towards vintage. The pieces I gathered, the things that I had at my fingertips, it went vintage. So we are calling it vintage, people. It is Vintage Christmas Joy. In the sense of the word joy is all through the kit. And this is the joy it brings for a little kid's eyes, presents, tissue paper, music, and of course, Santa, right? The word Merry Christmas is nowhere in here, so it definitely does not lend to any specific religion or holiday. Though it says Christmas Joy in the title, because for most of us, this is what we see as Christmas. Christmas is Santa, Christmas is reindeers, Christmas is, candy canes and holly and music and wrappings and presents, and it is what it is on that end. But the only words in this kit are a few in the word, of course, in the music, and of course the word joy throughout the whole thing. So this is a 22-page kit. It has its standard-ish, I won't say standard, but it has 12 journal pages and 10 ephemera pages, what do you want to call them? Ephemera pages, I guess. And we're going to get started. This was one of my favorites. It lends easily to folding it right down the middle and making it a journal cover. Whether you want to Mod Podge this onto a fabric tissue board, glue it and layer it up on cardstock, cardstock on cardstock, However you do it, you could cut this out and have a lot of fun with it. You could maybe glue this down, to a fabric. I don't know. Everybody has some different way of doing it. Just depends on how you do it. This can be pulled apart, used together. Make it your title page, like inside the book, and then it's your first page. But I loved how the sort of the binding or this spine of the book sort of gets covered with the holly and this piece of musical plaid paper that I end up creating throughout the kit. So it's definitely a fun one. Now I've backed the first 5 pages with a couple different things, but this one I definitely backed with the intention of making it maybe the cover page to the book. Journal book with a somewhat non-directional wrapping paper type feel background. So no matter how you turn it, you do sort of have upright on one end, upside down on the other. But no matter which way you turn it, you put it through your printer wrong, you can't go wrong. This will not be upside down or backwards in your print work when you do your journal. So as one of your background pages and one of your decor pages. Second decor page, as usual, my left and right, top and bottom. A little bit of everything. So when you fold it down the middle, you have great pages to work on where you have room to belly band, you have room to decorate, you have room to just leave it as a nice decorative as you see fit. I know in a number of them you could do tucks on sort of the opposite, do it up against the spine and tuck things into it for once. Now the next couple pages I actually backed with the lighter base page with lace, used lace for the texture. One of Vintage Paper Girl's actually lace scans, and went ahead and layered on top of it colors of cream and green and the red. Now it looks a little pinky, of course, on this end because it's lightened up, but then went ahead and put some holly graphics over the top of that. This is a great page. Now I printed at best quality full inkage on here, and so you really can see all the colors, but if you really want to dull it down to make it a really good, easy, simple journal page, if you just did this better quality or base quality, normal print job, even a draft, you could really dull this down and mute it down and make it your background page for all of these where you can write on them really easily without any worries in the world. But at full quality, where you have all the ink in the world, there's just nice good pops of green and pink, and I put them on the back of most of these decorative pages to make it really easy for journaling when I work on the book. This third page is more of a clustered effect on both sides. It has a little bit of everything. All the main parts throughout the kit are represented here. Of course, our Santa, our reindeer, the word joy, our cute little festive girl. She is very, I feel very festive and very fancy, so we do have some pearls and lace in other pages that pop up. There's the green doily from the front page, the letter, the music sheet, our snowflakes. Like you start pulling everything together in this third page. Then we go to the one fancier one here where we have our girl. She's all decked out for Christmas. She says joy on her basket. We got pearls and lace behind her. She's all ready for the festive day. We have Santa over here with one of his reindeer and bits and pieces and papers layered behind him with the holly and a letter from a little boy or girl that's talking to Mama about Santa right here, even with the date of December 25th on it. Then we go to where I get to sort of showcase the reindeer. There was 5 reindeer that were part of a cute Santa graphic that I got access to and purchased them from one of my sites. And I just adore them. They're just absolutely adorable. Or it came from Graphic I don't remember which one. I know it's from one of my sites that I pay for, so I know it's totally capable and copyrighted capable, but I decided that I wanted to showcase them here. And then when you do folded down the middle, her face and the wreath are on the front side of your paper. This could be a great also though middle of your signature. It has the word joy. We have our tissue paper. Joy is in the background, just lightly shadowed, and then this cute plaid paper that I do show off later. But this rendition of it in the pages is a little different than your final. The words do not stay on the final page. They're just here when I'm using them as accents because I love that one chunk of original design that I had created and then ended up totally scrapping that and using something else. But I loved it in the papers here. I think it worked really well for contrast and depth. Then go to sort of a simpler page. Now this is going to be great to put your pockets, your belly bands, your tucks, anything you really want to decorate to work on. This is a great page to have, like the backing of this one. These two are going to give you some room to play with and sort of maneuver and and play. Hold on, just double check it. Okay. They're going to give you the room you need to decorate and add layers and add colors with a simpler background, without a whole lot of fuss and muss and competition of the graphics. But there's nothing wrong with them as is either. You just want to leave it here. I could see doing this down the side and putting a tuck here. I know the tucks will sort of cover the stencil work there, but that's okay. Like, you could even put some of my papers down the middle and make it more of a middle tuck when you bind it, and you don't have to cover these guys up. I could see me doing that, where I have some of my papers I could strip and put them right down the middle, so when it's in glue, so when it's sewn in, we have sort of inside page tucks, so as to not block all these pretty things. Sorry about the fingers, guys. Not to block all these pretty things, but if you do, you do. That is just something there where it's simple, or you can totally cover right over it, right? Then we go into, so you have, 5 decorative pages. You have 2 simple backgrounds or play pages, right? Things that are nice, easy backgrounds, easy pages to play with. Then we have 3 geometric shaped background papers or pattern papers, where we get this sort of red and cream fabric striped feel that I wanted to put in here. We do the green and cream, really heavy, sort of like it's almost like what you would use for, this would be more of a fabric. This reminds me of wrapping paper. I use both of these layouts in my pink shabby Christmas at home kit. They were really successful. They worked great. So I did use a lot of the same spacing and just change the colors to work for this kit. So you have a medium and a dark. Again, a lot of the tags and cards are sort of on the lighter side. And so they will pop off this sort of darker page. Or you take this, you cut it up, and you use it to expand and expand the ephemera and sort of give you an extra layer within your thing. So we have these 2 striped pages. Then we have a polka dot, of course, again, the cream background with the red dots. I didn't do anything with a white background. I decided white was just too bright for something that became such a vintage kit. So there's your red with the cream. Again, this is great just to fill in pages, to give you some different texture and different shapes, and will be a great thing to back just about anything with. And then the last pieces we talked about, these are music bars within the music sheet that I've put as elements inside it. And I didn't do the words. The words in here, trying to do it either as a background, in strips, it just didn't work. So when I kept it just the notes and kept it as a sort of a clean graphic like you do with a piece of lace within the spots, then the feeling came together, and I made sure things overlapped and things, blurred, and gave it a very vintage feel, very warm piece of plaid wrapping paper, or plaid, it could be plaid scrapbook paper, plaid, the only thing, it wouldn't be really much of a plaid shirt or plaid skirt, because you really wouldn't see music sheet notes in a plaid shirt for this time of year. But I did like how the tones changed with overlapping of items within the colors. So this took a little bit of work to get this the way just the way I wanted it, but it's a great page where this could also be a really good inside if you did a fabric tissue cover. Of course, you'd have the fabric, but if you do a tissue cover, or you have a cardboard, or you have something sort of heavier, this could be a great piece to glue down on the inside of your cover. I think it'd make a really great inside cover if you did want to do something like that. Either one of these would be a great inside cover. The inside of the cover to the journal. At least I think. That's me personally. But this definitely went, as we went with the items, everything is in red and green, red and white, red and green, that we stuck to that color theme. So we did that within the pattern papers. We did that within the wallpaper look, or no, I keep calling wallpaper, wrapping paper look, right? We kept the greens, sometimes the greens led a little bit more to the brighter ends of the holly, or it got more into, Santa's gloves and the darker holly, and whatnot. So you have 2 greens, but they're sort of intertwined quite nicely. Then there's the 10 pages of ephemera. Now I'm going to turn this and I'm going to double check to make sure we stay in focus. We don't want to lose anything. It's never fun when you can't see what I'm talking about. And it says it's in focus, so we'll cross our fingers there. All right, so the 10 pages of ephemera start with some of our basic pieces. I have a vertical file folder, folded piece that make great for tiny mini books. One of my favorite things. And then we have the thicker belly band tuck here with the rounded element on top. And this is one of my favorites. I used it a couple times last year in a couple things that I did for the holidays. And he just felt like he went really well with our Santas and our strips of color this year. So I did one of the decorative belly bands, definitely wider, so it definitely takes up most of the page, but lets you put some simple things behind it on the page and not feel like you have to overly decorate the ephemera that goes inside it. You have some Fussy Cuts. Now these are left to kiss cut as you see fit. There's a lot of little details in these items, but I always try to give you the graphics that I work with when I make my clusters and whatnot. The clusters weren't anything overly exaggerated, overly crazy, so I didn't want to put all the papers and all the random pieces behind it, but I did want to give you access to what I found. So you have two sizes of the Santa, you have the joy piece, you got the girls, the two little kids, the holly box, and of course holly, and then some candy canes in between, and of course the 3 reindeer. So if you cut them just right, you do have perfect little squares or rectangles. You can definitely make these little embellishment pieces if you don't want to do a lot of massive fussy cutting, or fussy cut and distress around it and make it work to really expand and stretch these images onto other pages. We have my journal card fold over pocket here. I always hate putting anything on the back side, but you will use this as you see fit. You may fold it and glue it down. You may cut and trim and use the tabs. You know, this is just great shapes for you, if nothing else. If the envelope doesn't work as is, or the pocket doesn't work as is, they're definitely great simple pieces to use. We have the stackable pocket corners. Again, pulling from these for her colors from her dress. I use this background, and too, this is nice and light and cream and a great contrast over the darker corner. Now you use them together, you can use them separately too. It always works so well. We do have the trifold large tag elements here. They work beautifully together. They're all joy. Okay, so there's your joy standalone trifold hanging tag, ephemera piece. You load it up on the inside, you have a bunch of fun with it. It's a great little present. Or you cut them up as 3 separate pieces and you tuck them into all your favorite pieces. You do have a small washi tape here of the strip of the green strips, because I like to sort of give it to you guys sometimes where it fits easier in that shape. Then we have another belly band, very simple to decorate up. You have all 3 of the geometric pattern papers in a hexagon shape to help with layering. And I keep turning this, so hopefully I'm not making a mess out of this after all of that, right? We have my clutch purse envelope mini. It does fit the smaller journal cards that I make, but it gives you this cute back of the envelope, and then it's simple pattern over pattern when you fold it up and tuck it into your favorite pocket, or use it if you print one of those pages on the inside. You can use it as a way to make it all like a file. I was doing the file folder, fold outs, right? We'll use every one of these tabbed areas, of course, as something to flip out and continue to flip open. And you have, when you close it all up and wrap it around with a piece of ribbon or something to keep it closed, you have a really cute backing here, on the back, and the 2 front sides. So that has plenty of potential as usual. Let me see. I'll keep moving it so we'll see. But I gave you plenty of things to work off on that one. Then we get into, I just keep turning. But anyway, we get into the 4 medium-sized tags. Now they are pretty close together where you can do these as cut it down the middle. And you have 2 double tags that just fold in the middle. And you fill the inside with whatever you see fit. You have 4 individuals. You can fold these to where, they're accordion. And you have a 4-fold, or trifold, but 4-sided journal that just keeps opening up. Or journal tag that opens up. The things are endless, right? But I make sure that these are on the right-hand side. If you cut these in half, this is on the right, the front, and the back, right? All is where they're supposed to be. And I get great contrast from the dark and the light to make for each set of tags. You could cut these and fold them. If you cut it, hopefully cut it right. They can be instantly backed tags. Where if you cut these down the middle and you glue these together and then trim them up, you have an instantly backed tag also. Problem is, it only gives you 2 tags instead of 4, or 1 larger piece. Who knows? But you have the potential of, backing this with maybe one of your favorite pieces. You fold this in. This is the inside as a trifold, as a secret hideaway, and these are the outside pieces. And the back you decorate as you see fit, or the vice versa. But there's so many combinations, I think, for all of you. You guys are super talented, and I know you can come up with many ways to use this. I have an idea myself. I'm making a little gift for someone off one of my oops pages, and I have a trifold ephemera piece that I want to make. Of course, you have 6 of the mini scalloped tags. This time I kept them all separately because each one sort of represented a corner or a piece that I loved. And this way you can just hole punch and add it as an element and a layer to any one of your favorite ephemera pieces. I didn't do anything side by side. I know lately I've been doing doubles or the trifold versions, but I pulled them apart this time and left them as something you could use as embellishments. Speaking of embellishments, well, we do have 2 more pockets, which will look great on those green striped pages. They'll really pop off it, and anything you decorate it with will definitely pop off. This one I know it's upside down, so sorry, but when you turn it around, you do have Santa and his reindeer with her bell in that corner. And then you have the music pages on that one, another washi band type piece. The 2 stamps that I like, 2 to 4 stamps that I like to make. These guys happen to be 2 of my favorite reindeer. A smaller journal, like a smaller journal card for embellishment. One of the 3 flag-based banners, one of the 2 tabs, and then you have your 3 of the labeled, 3 of the bordered labels there that just sort of represent again those geometric, sort of striped and dotted papers that we use. Of course, we have our 4 large journal cards this year. This time it is not backed. They're not instantly backed. They're not anything fun. But I did enjoy the rounded edges of the clipboard ones in the fanciful fall ones. So I did make sure that this time I did automatically round them out for you guys. I know, gasp, right? Now you can cut them out square and super distress those corners that are left over. Or just simply cut around the edges the best you can, or use your cutters. We all have crocodiles and all kinds of fun different corner cutters, thank God. And that should fit in any one of those also. So I did a pretty standard, hopefully pretty standard corner measurement. So you have 2 horizontal ones and you have 2 vertical ones with plenty of room. Label can go here, labels can go here, words in the middle would be a vertical word, but you could do a vertical word here, you could do a vertical label here. Plenty of either like bullet journaling within these cards, or plenty of room to add extra, really do a cluster of some sort in each one of these corners. This one definitely leaves room for one of my labels could go right here. And then you have that moment that's journal on the back when you back it with whatever favorite paper that you like. Then there's my 4 flap envelope. Not really mine, but we all have a version of it. These do though hold these cards. Okay, I always make sure that when everything's printed the same way, these do fit inside this. So you could put one of those journal cards right in there. 4 flap, opens it up, shows the little hidey hole of a special moment on that journal card. I realized I did a lot of the stripes for your washi and your belly bands. I don't know why. I don't know how I did that. I'm like, I feel like it. But this is great because it does leave you room to add all those colors and those elements, being sort of a nice base, simple to use, belly band or washi. It is a nice canvas to start with. And then we have our 6 journal cards that fit in this smaller clutch purse. Fits in, I think they'll fit inside the trifold. Larger journal cards, if you made them pockets on the inside of those trifold tags, these should fit inside those pockets pretty darn close. Again, we have horizontal for sure. Could be vertical or horizontal. Horizontal, definitely in any direction you want. This one lends a little bit more to a vertical, just because of the way it reads, but that doesn't mean you have to read it. I mean, half the time I had it vertically placed on a horizontal page. So again, fun words in a lot of where there's places to read. It's labels, words, clusters. Here's the other 2 banners, flag banners, which are great. I love making my paper clips out of these, the decorative paper clips. I love making them out of these because I like to layer up with these guys. And 1 more tab. As I mentioned, there was 2 of them, and so there's your second tab of the night. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the Vintage Christmas Joy kit, the first digital kit in my shop, for the new digital kit for the shop. There are Christmas kits, there are winter kits, there are autumn kits in my shop right now, all from the 2020 collection tab. If you go to the 2020 holiday collection, there's everything from last year, which Christmas Christmas at Your Door is in the same colors and with holly and poinsettias. So it probably goes really well with this. If you got it last year, this would be a great addition to that. There are Christmas words and dictionary words sheets that go beautifully with this, as Lorette and Vintage Paper Girl mentioned on over the weekend. She probably pulled out quite a few other things that go with it also. But look through all my stuff for the collection. Look through the Holly collection. Look through, of course, the new ones that are coming up. I don't have them under any specific. They will just actually go in. I think I have a holiday or Christmas tab in general. That these will go in since they're the new ones. And then you have the 2020 collection, which is under its own tab. So hopefully you will find all of that. But type in Christmas. If it's Christmas, it's usually labeled under the word Christmas. Christmas at Your Door. This is Christmas Joy, or Vintage Christmas Joy. There was shabby Christmas at Home. So usually the word Christmas shows up. I don't know how picky Etsy is, but if you're able to just type in Christmas in my shop, I think everything that has the word Christmas in it, whether it's pink, whether it's vintage Santas or whatnot, it will pop up. So there are words, there aren't labels yet. I don't do any Christmas labels, but there will be soon. So, right? So much going on. So thank you for joining me here at A Jewel Design. This is Jolene. This is Vintage Christmas Joy in October. But I really hope you enjoy this. I really hope this sparks a little bit of creativity, getting you ready for the new season. I know, we just got into autumn. We were just talking about the autumn season, and now we're talking about the Christmas season. But it's coming. Winter is coming, before we know it. So we'll enjoy autumn. We'll prepare for Christmas and winter, and we will get our creative juices flowing. So thank you for joining. Click in my link below in the description for the link tree. If you have any questions or concerns, everything I'm attached to is there. And again, I really hope you will subscribe and notify, like and love and comment, and let me know how things are going. And I hope to see you soon with a new Journal with Me this Thursday. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.